Previously. Now we return to local news. As I pulled a packet of instant noodle out of the cupboard, I heard a television from the next room. I guess this isn't so bad. I suppose it's kind of cool that I can listen to the news while I cook. I almost feel like a stay-at-home dad or a house husband. Earlier this morning, 2 fugitives were found in critical condition in an abandoned house. I told you! The older of the 2 is yet to still wake up, and police have been unable to confirm the identity of their assailant. Given that his wound appears to be dealt from behind, however, police do not expect a positive identification. Jesus Christ! What the hell happened to you? Nice to see you too, buddy. I don't suppose you've got any spare medical kits lying around. Before you showed up, I was the one making collections. Marcus was the one supporting me. He wanted to prove that he has what it takes, so I let him take the lead as long as he agreed to bring you with him. You aren't the only one who's still in training, you know. With Marcus in that state, he won't be able to take the lead for a while. Someone else will have to take over. Oh my god, really? So, unless you stumbled upon another source of revenue since we last spoke, you'd better hope you're up to the task. Chapter 5. Regression. The next beautiful day. Wednesday morning, September the 21st. The second my conscious mind entered the world of the living, footsteps approached my sleeping figure. Good morning. Wakey, wakey. Breakfast is ready, and your clothes have been ironed. Get 'em both while they're still warm. I'm still sleeping. We haven't ironed? Okay. Shower, check. Clothes, check. Breakfast, check. We've still got a bit of time left. Oh, I should get a start on the pre-preparation for dinner. Dang, it's in the morning and she's already pre-preparing the dinner. And off she goes. Now that Sarah's stalkers have been dealt with, she's returned to her usual chipper self. If anything, she's now more lively than ever. Hey, can you turn the TV up? Forget lively. Sarah was never this happy in our old home. Not that I can fault her for being happy. The only downright odd behavior she's displayed since last night is her newfound fascination with the news. She watched it on and off last night, and today she's had it blaring since the moment I wake up. But her obsession isn't all that bad for me, so I have no plans to stop her. On the contrary, I've already begun to make use of it. While I can't approach the witness or question high school kids, Sara is free to do both. Better yet, she seems to know the girl and was thus able to tell me all about her. You want to know more about the witness? I guess it can't be helped. I'll impart upon you a portion of my great knowledge. First off, her name is Lucia Kay, and she's 1 year younger than us, and she's in the grade below me at school. Lucia doesn't really have any friends. I don't think many people even know her name until yesterday. Let's see. What else? Lucia isn't very interesting. Above average grades, average looks, below average physical fitness. Dang, that's really in-depth information we're getting here. But get this. Her family is well off, but they don't seem to get along. They're actually really ashamed of Lucia. What? Because of that, they won't let her have any fun. She can't go to birthday parties, she doesn't have a computer, she lives a really boring life. Oh my god, what can she do without a computer? What does she do? Sit by the campfire and read books? That sounds not too bad actually, but still, I'd rather have a computer. She waits in her room alone, wishing for someone to save her from her fate. Oh, what? This actually seems like, especially that last sentence, it just sort of seems like Sarah is trying to make, I don't know, some sort of fairy tale out of this, and then she's like, and then the vigilante swoops in and saves her, like she's a princess or something, hidden at the top of the tower. Which fairy tale was that? The one with the Rapunzel with the really long hair? I think it was. Always playing the hopeful loner, seeking companionship, praying for the freedom that others take for granted. Or at least, that's Sarah's interpretation of Lucia's situation. Regardless, it does fit my impression of the girl, and Lucia seems nice enough. Yeah, nice enough to not rat me out, I hope. She doesn't sound like the type to brag to her friends about what really happened, or to hand her savior over to the police. All that's left now is to have Sarah confirm a few of my suspicions, and my mind will be completely at ease. Saying our usual goodbyes, Sarah left the house with a skip in her step, and enough cheer for us both. Whether or not my morning will stay so cheerful, however, is yet to be seen. As happy as I am that Sarah is now shining brighter than ever, the collateral damage won't be too happy to see me. Though Marcus's injuries weren't life-threatening, his ego has been severely bruised, and he won't be anywhere near as intimidating. As a result, I'll be taking the lead today, expected to commit the violent acts I'd initially winced upon seeing. Oh yeah, that's right, I almost all forgot about that. I left a short while after Sarah, taking with me Marcus's knife. While I don't really want to take over as the lead collector, the alternative is far less appealing. Either the collections get done, or I wind up in an underground MMA ring. No matter how much Andre has prepared me, that's still a fate I want to avoid at all costs. So us training is like a backup plan, I guess? Cause otherwise, if we were so sure that we're going to keep this collecting job, then there's no need for us to train, right? Seeing as we have no hopes or dreams of fighting inside the ring. Come to think of it, I seem to be shifting jobs rather rapidly lately. Without realizing it, I was coerced into being an underground MMA fighter, then an assistant debt collector, and now a lead debt collector, all in quick succession. I don't think we were ever an underground MMA fighter, like we're kind of training to be one a little bit, but yeah, once again, that's the backup plan, right? We've never set foot in the ring in the arena and fought anyone, so I don't think we could put underground MMA fighter on our resume, although we probably never would, cause who would put that on their resume as well as assistant debt collector and lead debt collector? Like, it depends on what job you're like trying to get as well, I guess, but most people will be like, okay, what the hell is this? Get out of here. Hell, chances are that it will soon change again. There's no way my position as lead debt collector will last very long. But whatever the future holds, all that matters for the time being is that I survived the next 3 hours of my life. My first day as a lead debt collector, and hopefully my last. Waiting in front of our first stop was Marcus, which shaped up considerably nice since I last saw him. Unfortunately, his confidence and attitude appeared to be among the last stages of his recovery. Morning, killer. Well, someone's in a good mood today. What right does he have to call me that anyway? He killed more people on our first collection together than I have in total. Not that that's really a discussion I want to have. Why so quiet, killer? Don't like your new name? It's far better than your old one. What kind of stupid name is Suoh anyway? Oi, it's not like I got to pick it, okay? Our mother named Sara, and our father decided that twins should have twin names. Apparently, my mother flat out rejected his other suggestions, leaving me with the least abnormal name he came up with. Shut up, Bluey. Let's get to work. Or what? Are you afraid to go in without me? Oh, snap. Rather than laugh and put on his usual act, Marcus continued to stare at me, bemusedly. I guess he expected a little more out of his forced recruit. I trust that you were briefed on our stops for the morning. Yeah, I remember them all. While Marcus was getting patched up, Andre ran through a list of names, amounts, and addresses with me. Since having a paper trail was not an option, I needed to commit them all to memory, and even with my head muddled from my discouraging morning. Luckily, we only have around a dozen stops to make today. No matter how distracted I am, I should be able to pull it off. Then what are you waiting for? Well, here goes nothing. Oh my god. Well, oh god, this is actually, I don't know, like it could, this is the thing about being a debt collector, right? Look at me talking like I'm an expert on this, because I actually don't know that much, but I can just imagine that it can either just go really smoothly, right? Or it can go incredibly wrong, and then yeah, we're gonna have a repeat of what happened to the Lee family. And to be honest, I don't think we really want that. First up is a restaurant owned and operated by a Taiwanese man, and it's not the only one on our list for today either. Are Asians compulsive gamblers? Or are they just plain bad at gambling? I'm fairly new to this job, yet it seems like a lot of stops I've made have been to restaurants owned by middle-aged Asian men. What's more, I get the feeling that those are the kinds of pointless questions I'll be asking myself a lot today. Marcus and I remained seated until the only other patron present finally left. As he walked out the door, I followed Marcus's usual lead-in. I made my way to the entrance and flipped the "open" sign around, locked the front door, and closed the shutters. Not this again. Oi, get in here. The waitress called out to the next room, summoning forth a middle-aged man with an apparent gambling problem. Wow, you can already see that from his appearance. Don't me. Take a look at what you've done. The waitress pointed at Marcus and I. I'll handle this. The hell you will. Every time this happens, you brush me aside, saying you'll take care of everything. And 3 months later, it's the same thing all over again. Look, I said I'd handle it, alright? And I'm saying that if you were capable of doing so, we wouldn't be in this situation. The couple began to argue, soon reverting to their native tongue and excluding Marcus and I from the conversation. At first, I felt awkward for having lost control of the situation so quickly, but soon after that, I instead felt amused. While I'd seen many similar exchanges between indebted parties during my admittedly short criminal career, never had Marcus and I been so blatantly ignored. Maybe this is part of their plan, like, if we just keep ignoring them, they will eventually go away, right? No, of course not. Swapping languages is a pretty obvious, yet effective tactic. They could be plotting to kill the two of us right now, and I'd be none the wiser. And while I doubt that that's what they're arguing about, it sure would be nice to know what they're saying. Oh well, if we can't glean any useful information from them, we may as well get to work. Hey! Eyes this way, you bastards! Look, you two can argue all you want once we leave, but the only way that's gonna happen is if you pay off your debt, here and now. Understood? Oh yeah, you tell him, Suoh. I don't know why I'm rooting for like the bad guy. Thai couple, they're like, oh no. The restaurant's owner didn't say a word. He simply disappeared into the next room with one assumed goal. Damn, that was easier than I thought. Yeah, just look a little intimidating, shout a little bit, and say intimidating stuff, and then bam, the money flows in. Maybe I'd make a good lead collector after all. No intimidation, no knife waving, no blatant threats, just a logical statement telling them how to get rid of us. No, that's just naive. This is going way too smoothly. If he had the money, wouldn't he just have paid up instead of making us hound him? Something's wrong here. Oh my god! Dang! Alright, you bastards. You want me? Come and get me! Just as the thought crossed my mind, the restaurant owner burst back into the room, shotgun in hand. Freaking shotgun! Shit! I knew this was going too well. Honey, what are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? I told you I'd handle this. Oi, sleazebags, hand over whatever you've collected today and get out of here. The joke's on him. He's the first of today, so we don't have shit. Uh-oh. We haven't collected anything yet. You're our first stop. Idiot. Don't tell him that. No money, huh? Well, now, isn't that a problem? Waving his gun around, the man smirked as he taunted us. We were at an obvious disadvantage, and no amount of bravado would change that. I wonder, what do people usually do to those who can't pay? Maybe I should cut off your hands, like the thieves you are. What? I can understand that he wants to turn around the situation with like who's in control, but he can't say that we're thieves or whatever. He actually owes this money to us. We're not taking it from him. He actually has to give it to us because that's what he owes us, right? He can't flip around that part of the script. While I looked around the restaurant, trying to find an escape, Marcus clenched his fist. Don't get cocky, asshole. Marcus, stop! What? The second Marcus charged forward, our target fired, blowing Marcus's stomach wide open without hesitation. What the actual... What, Marcus? I thought he was telling that to us, like us not to get cocky, and then he just runs out to a guy with a shotgun, especially after what happened yesterday, and then... Holy fuck, the guy actually shot. Marcus's body hit the floor, unmoving, and the regrettably familiar sight of pooling blood filling my eyes. Hey, Marcus! I tried calling out to Marcus, but I received no response. I moved closer, placing my hand on his shoulder and weakly pushing for a response. Marcus, can you hear me? Back up, kid. If you don't want to end up like your friend, you'll do as I say. The owner crept forward, getting a closer look at his work. I kept my eyes on Marcus, discreetly keeping track of the shooter's vicinity as the man closed in on his victim. Please, Marcus, speak to me. I said back up. Gah! Oh my god. Feigning an emotional goodbye, I drew the shotgun-wielding man closer, careful not to let him catch me glancing at him. The moment he was within striking distance, I abused the window of opportunity Marcus's sudden death had granted me, slashing his shooter's throat immediately. He dropped his shotgun, unable to hold both it and his throat at the same time, and I moved in to finish the job. Holy crap. At least we came out of that situation alive. Sparing no time for my fallen partner, I coerced the waiters at gunpoint to take me to their safe out back. Cash in hand, I fled the scene, moving to my next mark for the day without delay. I moved from target to target, completing the day's work with ease, and before I knew it, I had completed my last stop for the day. Well, thankfully all the other 11 stops went smoothly, because holy crap. Imagine if your day starts off like that, you know, at the very first quote-unquote target that you went to, and that fucking guy pulls a shotgun on you and kills your partner, and you're like, holy fuck, that's a great start to the day. But yeah, luckily, that was only the worst part of the day. But dang. But even then, after completing a day full of solo ventures, I felt neither happy nor relieved. I had continued working not because the work needed to be done, or because I felt obliged to finish what I started, but because I simply didn't know what else to do. Marcus is dead. He was shot, right in front of me. I was right there beside him, and I couldn't do a thing to help him. I mean, honestly, it's just Marcus's stupidity I mean, who the hell runs at a guy with a shotgun without any weapon of I mean, even if he had a weapon in his hand, why would he run towards a guy with a shotgun? It's just, oh, Marcus, I don't freaking know. And the funny thing is that, ironically enough, he was actually telling the guy to not get cocky, even though he's the one that made a cocky move. So I'm not saying that Marcus deserved to die, but it was just so stupid that it's like, holy crap, dude. Why? I don't even understand why. But it's you know what? People like that we're supposed to die anyway, right? We weed out the bad people, and we only keep the strong people for this business alive. I don't know why I'm suddenly thinking from this perspective. Like, yeah, we're a mobster, lead collector, and I'm working for my boss, and I'm like, holy shit, things turn around quickly. I've turned to the dark side so fast. Oh my god. As the lead collector, I should have thought things through. I shouldn't have let us get into that situation to begin with. That's true. He should have controlled the situation at the beginning. I mean, the thing is, if we only have a knife with us, then we're kind of... I don't feel that we're too well equipped to handle every possible scenario and situation that could happen. Like, yeah, some guy pulling a shotgun on us is probably one of the worst case scenarios, but it's still a possible scenario that could happen. And the only reason that we were able to get out of that was because of we used Marcus's death and body as sort of a distraction tactic, So if Marcus hadn't done that, I don't know how he would have pulled out with just a flimsy little knife, against the shotgun. I don't freaking know. So I feel like we should at least have a gun, but maybe Marcus had one. But then why would he just jump at him or run towards him? Just shoot at him from a distance. But the most worrying part is, it could have just as easily been me. No, I don't think we're as stupid to run towards the guy. It couldn't just have easily been me. While I tried to convince myself otherwise, I was in just as much danger as he was. I could have died then and there, or at the next stop, or even in this very seat. The waitress could have poisoned my food for all I know. The chef could be loading his shotgun right now. I've been flirting with death this whole time, high on the thrill of getting paid to intimidate random strangers, never really truly realizing how messed up this kind of life is. If I kept this up, I really might die. Walking through the dark corridor, Andre nervously glanced behind, cautious of where he was being led. Move it. Yes, sir. Andre's guide continued to urge him forward, allowing him no chance of escape. I really hope that whatever Sai is wearing, that those are glasses, right? Because it really seems strange. Because you see Andre first, so I thought like, okay, he's sort of being captured or being pushed to this particular place where Sai is leading him, and then you see Sai, and then bam, I was like, what? Sai has a blindfold on? But that, I swear to God, I hope those are glasses, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. A blindfolded guy is leading Andre to his boss. Upon passing through the heavy door which awaited him, Andre was greeted by a single man. Nice to see you, Andre. Good evening, sir. As Andre spoke, the presence behind his back shifted. Although both men spoke kindly, there was an unmistakable sense of malice and unease in the air. Andre, my friend, let me cut straight to the chase. I want you to explain to me why that runt Marcus has been making your collections for you. I can understand that you would want to bring Marcus along with you as part of his training. That makes perfect sense to me. What I don't understand is why you'd let him take the lead and go off on his own. The presence behind Andre shifted once more, this time inching closer. I wanted to make sure he had what it takes. Throw him in head first, you know. Is that right? Well, obviously, he didn't have what it takes. Otherwise, he'd still be alive, wouldn't he? What? What are you talking about? I saw him just... He was shot dead this morning, conducting a collection. No, that's impossible. He is. Lucky for you, his partner wasn't hurt in the process. His partner? Wait. You're telling me that Marcus is dead, but that other brat survived? Just how is that lucky? If Marcus really is dead, then it's definitely his partner's fault. Oh? Just yesterday, that incompetent brat left Marcus alone to go on some bullshit vigilante trip. Now, when he was supposed to be taking the lead, Marcus winds up dead? Nobody can do this job alone, let alone with an unreliable partner. Nobody can do this job alone, huh? What? What's so funny? You say that nobody can do it alone, yet this incompetent brat managed to do just that. Instead of making excuses or crying over his partner, he avenged his death and completed the day's work. Andre stared at his boss in disbelief, unable to swallow what he was hearing. You really are defending him? I seek out talent. This boy has it. Marcus did not. You son of a... Gah! Andre attempted to lunge at his boss, but before he could do as much as take a step, the presence from behind his back made its move. Andre was thrown onto the ground effortlessly with a blade embedded into his back before he could retaliate. Same old Andre, huh? Sigh, twist your blade, would you? Understood. You bastard! You spout all this shit about your employees being your family, but the second we become inconvenient... Again. You never did understand, did you, Andre? You are not my family. Marcus was not my family. My family are those who understand loyalty and discretion. Loyalty, huh? Like you know the meaning of the word. You just can't help yourself, can you? Sigh. We're done talking. Oh, dang, ruthless, man. Damn.